Hello, children of the world. My name is Jaquan Patterson. I am a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Sigma Rho chapter. I am a 2016 initiate. I'm the tail of my line. And today, I'm going to be reading Peanuts, Kick the Football, Charlie Brown. Every year when football season starts, Charlie Brown attempts to achieve one of his many goals in life, to kick a football and watch it soar through the air. And every year when Charlie Brown tries to do this, the same thing happens. It all starts with his friend Lucy. "Over here," Charlie Brown says, "Lucy, I've got a brand new ball. I'll hold it and you can come running up and kick it." "A brand new ball," Charlie Brown shouts. "Wow, this is a real treat." Charlie Brown gets a running start, approaches Lucy, but just as he goes to kick the ball, Lucy pulls it away. Charlie Brown goes flying into the air and lands with a "ah" on his back. "Why did you take the ball away?" Charlie Brown asks Lucy angrily. "It suddenly occurred to me that if I let you kick it, it wouldn't be new anymore," Lucy explains. The next time, it's the same story. "Charlie Brown," calls Lucy in a sing-song voice. "Come on, I'll hold the football. You come running up and kick it," Lucy says. "I have a surprise for you this year." "A surprise?" thinks Charlie Brown. That must mean she isn't going to pull the football away. She's going to be surprised to see how far I can kick the ball. Just like last year, Charlie Brown runs up quickly at the football that Lucy's holding. Just like last year, the second he goes to kick it, Lucy pulls it away. And just like last year, Charlie Brown goes flying into the air and lands with a "ah." And now for the surprise. Lucy says to Charlie Brown, who can't bring himself up to get up quite yet. "Would you like to see how that looked on instant replay?" The next time Charlie Brown sees Lucy holding the football, he won't even give her a chance to talk. "No," he shouts. "You must think I'm crazy. You say you'll hold the ball, but you won't. You'll pull it away and I'll fall again. Why, Charlie Brown, I wouldn't do such a thing," insists Lucy, smiling calmly. "I'm a changed person. Isn't this a face that you trust?" "All right," Charlie Brown agrees begrudgingly. "You hold the ball, and I'll come up running and kicking." This time, Charlie Brown is only a little surprised when Lucy pulls away the ball and he lands on his back. "I admire you," Lucy tells him. "You have such a faith in human nature." So Charlie Brown avoids Lucy, but she knows just where to find him. "What's up?" Sally asks when she opens the door to her house to see Lucy standing there. "Tell your brother to come out," says Lucy. "I'll hold the ball. He can come up and running and kick it." "She's here again," Sally says to Charlie Brown inside. "Why does she think she can fool you over and over?" "You don't really believe my brother will fall for this, do you?" Sally asks. "I mean, after all, how often do you think you can fool someone with the same trick?" But Charlie Brown is already following Lucy outside. Sally stands on the front stoop and watches as Charlie Brown runs to kick the football. Lucy pulls it away. Charlie Brown goes flying and lands on his back with an "ah." "Pretty often, I guess," Sally remarks as Charlie Brown goes back into the house with his head spinning. But Charlie Brown is not a quitter, and he's not going to give up. "I'm going to kick that football all the way to the North Pole," he declares. His friends are very supportive. They believe in Charlie Brown too. And besides, they all know how much Lucy loves her tricks, and they would love to see Charlie Brown get the better of her. Linus offers to lend Charlie Brown his blanket as a good luck charm. Sally gives Charlie Brown a big encouraging hug. "Isn't it a part of football anyway?" she asks, squeezing him tight. "We're practicing right now, big brother." "That's tackling, not hugging," says Charlie Brown, gasping for air. For help training, Charlie Brown's turned to his most trusted friend and advisor, Snoopy. Snoopy puts him to work, making him run laps to strengthen his legs and practice drills over and over again. He's a great coach. After all, Snoopy's had a lot of experience with his own team. Charlie Brown even has a dream that night that he kicks the football, and not only does he kick it, but it soars higher into the air than any football in the world. Charlie Brown knows he can do this. The next day, Charlie Brown is ready to face Lucy, and she's ready for him. She sets herself up on the grass. So I'll hold the ball, Charlie Brown, and you come running. She begins, Lucy. Rerun interrupts. Mom says come in for lunch. Lucy ignores her little brother and turns back to Charlie Brown. You come up running and kick it, she says. Right now, shouts Rerun. Oh, good grief, says Lucy. That's all right. We'll do it some other time, says Charlie Brown. He's getting a little nervous anyway. No, Rerun can take my place, says Lucy. Handing him the football, she goes inside. Me? Says Rerun. He kneels on the grass and holds the football steady. This time I'll do it, thinks Charlie Brown. Rerun would never pull the ball away. Here we go, he shouts, gearing up to run at the ball. A few minutes later, Rerun carries the football inside where Lucy is eating her lunch. What happened? She asks. Did you pull the football away? Did he kick it? Rerun smiles mysteriously. You'll never know. And Lucy says, ah! And that is the end.